WWE just confirmed 5 new signings to the company. We're going to talk about it in this video. Plus, we got some bad news for WWE NXT. I'm going to tell you guys how it might impact you because you very well could be losing access to the show. And Netflix has apparently spoiled a return. It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. And if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. This way you never miss a video on the channel. It truly means a lot. And now with that being said, let's jump right into it. Coming up first, we should probably talk about Netflix spoiling the return of AJ Lee. Well, if you guys didn't know, Netflix does this thing where they upload future episodes to the Netflix app. So they're all dated and it tells you the time when it goes live. And you guys can see exactly how this is if you currently log into the Netflix app. You can see future episodes are already listed. And with that one includes AJ Lee. And it shows on November 17th, 2005, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, AJ Lee is listed in the graphic. And no, there's nobody else on the graphic. So that is a very, very, very interesting choice. And you have to wonder, what exactly does this mean for WWE? Because you don't want Netflix spoiling things, but also at the same time too, I believe, and maybe this is me, right? But I believe it's actually a smart thing for Netflix to do this. I think WWE is incredibly smart, and I think Netflix is incredibly smart. And if you want people to watch future episodes of your show, essentially what you're going to do is this. Now, obviously, with WWE and Netflix, they have a lot of things going on for themselves. Obviously, this partnership's a big deal. WWE is doing great things with it. But at the end of the day, this is a relatively big deal. And this is the graphic that I'm talking about, by the way. So if you guys take a look at that, we're going to blow it up. This is what you see when you look for the November 17th episode for Netflix WWE Raw. So obviously, WWE, like I said, they know what they're doing. They have this concrete plan where sometimes the little things matter. And no, I'm not reaching here. I genuinely mean this when I say this. WWE does this often. And sometimes there's little hints here and there on social media, on Netflix, on video packages, in the background of segments. And again, it's a very strategic thing. And the reason why they're going to do it is because it gets people enticed to keep watching. And I think when you look at AJ Lee, she is such a pivotal character for WWE. There's a lot of interest there. And for her to come back into WWE programming, it's a big deal. And of course, right now there's this stuff going on with Becky and Maxine Dupree, which has been relatively exciting to watch. But with Netflix potentially spoiling AJ Lee's return, I think it's safe to assume that she'll probably be going after Becky Lynch again, which would mean don't expect Becky to drop that belt anytime before November 17th. And of course, with WWE and Netflix, like I said, things are going extremely well for them. So these little things do matter. They are definitely going to try and get people excited. We got a couple of weeks away, but you guys could go on the Netflix app and actually see for yourself exactly what I'm talking about. That brings us to our next topic. Some pretty bad news for WWE NXT. And I'm going to explain how this actually impacts you guys, because apparently millions of customers may be losing access to NXT on a weekly basis. Now, we are seeing firsthand how linear television is changing. And the reason why is because streaming is a very big component to the way that we all watch television. Now, with that being said, it appears that Verizon Fios customers may soon lose access to several Nexstar-owned channels, which includes the CW network. Now, a new agreement is needed. However, a new agreement has not been reached, and apparently today is the deadline. It is October 24th, 2025. Now, with that being said, in a notice sent to Verizon Fios customers, Verizon stated that its current agreement with Nexstar is set to expire, and if no deal is made, channels owned by Nexstar, including many of the CW affiliates, could be dropped from the Fios TV lineup. And this is obviously a very big deal, but they're claiming it's due to increased costs. Now, with that being said, the CW is a channel that I very much enjoy watching. There's actually some good shows on there, and the fact that they have sports is a relatively big thing. But let's talk about how this actually impacts you, because For those who don't know, the CW, it's a very big thing, right? It's free broadcast television, right? Like you can have the access to the antenna if you have one, but there's different affiliates for this. So for example, viewers in the New York, Buffalo, Philadelphia, Syracuse, Albany, New York area, they are all greatly impacted by this. These affiliate channels and stuff like that. There's so many of them. So many different markets have it. They're all different channel numbers. They're all different channel names, but they all fall under the CW umbrella. Verizon did state that it is negotiating to reach a fair and reasonable agreement. However, they claim that Nexstar is demanding significant price increases, and if there is no new resolution reached by the end of day today, WWE programming and other sports and other local news content could be pulled off. Now, this is very tricky. As you guys know, TV contracts are very tricky. This has nothing to do with WWE, but WWE is greatly impacted by this. As you can imagine, the Philadelphia, the New York area, those are very big markets, and they're very big markets for professional wrestling. And obviously, Verizon Fios is one of the bigger TV providers out in the East Coast. Millions of people could be without WWE programming. And that is a very, very big deal because obviously the less people that have access to it means less potential viewership. That's not good. So this is definitely something to pay attention to. I'll keep you guys updated, obviously, along the way. But please understand, TV contracts are very, very tricky. And hopefully Verizon and Nexstar figure it out. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. WWE has confirmed 5 new signings. Some of these faces may look familiar. Some of them may not. I'm going to bring that image back up in just a second, but it is true. WWE has confirmed 5 new signings. Now, we have talked about this months and months ago about a potential new signing to be revealed for NXT. Well, now it's been confirmed. WWE has posted this on social media, confirming the signing of Zozea, Mike DiVecchio, Egil Blanc, as well as Dusan Novakovic and Nathan Cranton. Now, WWE has yet to tell us when these guys are set to debut. Obviously, Halloween Havoc is around the corner, so I think it is safe to assume that maybe a potential debut could be happening soon. The 3 names, obviously, Zozea, Mike DiVecchio, Egil Blanc. We know their work in the UK and in the European wrestling scene. A couple things that was really interesting. Obviously, if you take a look at this image, WWE has Egil Blanc in the photo. However, WWE is not telling you that he's wearing, they're basically telling you he's not going to be wearing his mask in WWE, which I found that to be very interesting. Zozea and Mike DiVecchio are 2 of the names that have been very, very big rumored to like actually be given a serious push in NXT. Dusan Novakovic, I tried to do a little bit of research. I can't find too much on him. Nathan Cranton is somebody who, if you do a quick Google research, obviously a wrestler, but there's not too much information on him either. This is a very interesting situation, right? WWE finally confirming these new signings. They're at the Performance Center. They've been training. They've transitioned over. Now we're going to see how WWE actually packages them, how they push them, what they do. I think, listen, man, when you hear of WWE, and more specifically, you look at these guys, I think it's very obvious that WWE is starting to go after more European talent, which is awesome. But I think this is probably a big sign that NXT Europe probably isn't happening unless for some reason they shock the world and then eventually do it. But I'm excited to see what happens, man. I think WWE has something very special with these guys. Zozea is a freaking awesome talent. Egil Blanc is an awesome talent. But are you changing them completely? Like, you got to know what works, right? The reason why some of these guys do a great thing in WXW or Progress is because they are, they are themselves. Egil Blanc wearing a mask, now probably not wearing a mask. That's a huge change. How do you go about this? If you're the WWE, what exactly is your plan here? I'm excited, but it is true. 5 new signings officially confirmed, and I can't wait to see how they are debuted on television soon.